We're on.
Holy shit, we're holy shit, we're holy shit, we're parents. Hey guys, this is your doula Hannah. You're listening to Holy Shit, We're Parents, the podcast where I, as a birthing and early child care professional, talk about making babies, birthing babies, and trying not to lose our minds raising them with my ADHD only child husband who has never cracked a parenting book, Justin.
Hello, how are you this evening, Hannah?
I am on a nice sugar high post Halloween. How are you?
Good, good. Just for the listeners, we are recording, excuse me, the day after Halloween. And today we are going to talk about crazy, weird shit toddlers say and what these creepy comments might actually mean developmentally, emotionally, and maybe even spiritually. So, for anybody who is new here, Hannah is a very probably type A personality, and I just got texted the episode topic as we sat down, and then was surprised about why my wife, who was in the room with me, was texting me.
Yeah.
So, Hannah, what do you have for us today?
So, today is going to include a lot of social media and Reddit examples. So, creepy things toddlers say has always fascinated me, even before we had children.
Me
And
too. And we have been very lucky to, I would say, up until a couple days ago,
yeah,
not really experience any weird comments from our 2-year-old.
yeah,
But why don't we start with that story?
yeah. So the weird comments have started with our son. So far only 2 instances.
And by weird comments, we don't mean just the fact that he goes, "Damn, mommy, why you so pretty?"
So, the first one, I don't even remember how it came up, but he somehow said, "We have lots of cats. There's Bay and Binks, and I don't know what the purple cat's name is." And we were both kind of just like, "Who's the
Who's
purple cat?"
We don't even have a purple cat stuffed animal or
No,
anything
nothing like
in the
that.
house.
And he was just like, "I don't know what his name is," and started talking about something else. And then a few days before Halloween, I was looking for a pair of boots that I'm pretty sure I accidentally donated, but for my costume. And we were in the car. I had taken him with me over to my mom's house to check to see if maybe I put him in storage in her basement. And he said, "Mommy, did you find your boots?" I said, "Nope, I didn't find them. I don't know where they are." And he said, "Well, the people probably took them." And I said, "What people, buddy?" And he said, "You know, the people that come take stuff." And I said, "What people are that?" And he said, "Let's listen to Down by the Bay." So I got no further explanation there either.
Which is awesome because I have to live in this house.
Yeah.
And apparently people are coming in and taking stuff.
Yeah, supposedly.
What I'm hoping is that at my parents' house, he maybe read a book about like a borrower's type situation.
Uh-huh.
Because
Yeah. So I do kind of get into why toddlers might say these creepy things.
is because they're having memories from a past life.
That is one possible explanation. Um, do you want me to get into the why first,
Do
or
you
do
want
we
me to
want
give
to?
my actual guess on what it is?
Yeah, yeah. Let's get into the whys. We'll start with your guesses, and then we'll get into some crazy fucking examples.
I think scientifically it was actually probably going to have something to do with the brain just not being able to properly intake and store information in the right areas, kind of like what they say causes deja vu,
Uh huh.
where it's actually a recent, like a short-term memory that accidentally gets stored in the long-term memory part of your brain. I think it's something like that, like new information they're getting and taking in is maybe sometimes just too much, or their brain just isn't ready to properly siphon that all out and like distribute it to the proper parts of their brain.
That is a super solid guess. So the scientific reasoning behind it is toddlers are taking in a shitload of information, and that includes anything they overhear, anything they see outside, anything they see on TV, anything they read in a book, like constantly absorbing information. And their language skills develop a lot faster than their reasoning and logic skills. So that's part of it. Another is toddlers have a really hard time deciphering between imagination and reality, and they kind of overlap.
Lucky.
Yeah, right. They also have a super like heavy REM sleep.
Okay.
So they may be remembering a dream, and that dream could have been a way of processing the day, and then that dream later becomes imprinted in their brain as this happened.
As the memory instead of how it
Right.
processed it. Yeah.
And yeah, so like to them, what they imagine or what they dream about feels just as real as anything they are actually seeing throughout the day.
Which I mean, I don't think that necessarily stops for some people,
Right.
regardless of age. Like I know I don't dream a lot, but for instance, like when I was trying to quit smoking cigarettes,
Yeah.
wow, over a decade ago, when I got the patches, they caused my dreams to be so vivid that I was having trouble distinguishing what was what was a dream and what had actually happened.
Yeah.
So I had to stop with the patches.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
was
I forgot about that.
that was wild. Yeah, because
Yeah.
again, like I'm not a very visual minded person. I'm a very word based person in my brain. So it was just extra alarming to not only
Right.
be dreaming, but then be dreaming things that I'm like, wait, that couldn't have happened.
Yeah.
But my brain's like, no, 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 it did. It
It
was just like
definitely did.
Thursday. Yeah. So it's basically just that kids are little sponges and they're probably just taking in literally everything because they don't really have the ability to filter stuff out yet.
Yes.
And their brain is just completely overwhelmed and they sleep differently. So processing it during their sleep works differently as well.
Right.
Okay. Also, they could just be remembering their past life.
Yeah, so that is another explanation.
Because there's some of these stories that I remember, because like this is something that's interested you and I for our whole relationship, I
Right.
think. So there's stories that I've heard that I'm like, I hope this kid didn't hear anything that related to this in any way.
Right. And we'll probably talk about some of those, but there's definitely um a spiritual approach to this, that like the belief that there is reincarnated memories coming into play, some highly sensitive kids to a possible spirit realm, or just like a blurred line between the reality we see and the possible reality that could exist that we don't see. There's a few different.
I'm skeptical of that.
Yeah,
I'm
and
a lot more, I don't know. If there's a very logical explanation that makes sense, which to me the brain thing makes a billion% sense,
right.
that's it. End.
That's typically how I am too, but some of the stories we're going to cover definitely make me be like, "Whew, okay." That like gives me some goosebumps and some pause. So, those are our explanations. Um,
All right. So are
shall we
we?
dive right into it?
Yeah, hop into stories. Where are
Okay.
we getting them from?
So we're going to start with some that I actually got in my mom's group that I'm in on Facebook. So I flat out asked, hey, what's some weird, creepy shit your kids have said? Because mine have started saying X, and got some fantastic answers. Some are just very brief, and others are like, holy shit. So I'll just walk right through these and you stop me if any make you say what the fuck.
What the fuck? Oh, wait. Okay.
All right. Once my daughter woke up in the middle of the night in hysterics because of the man in a hat on her ceiling. She will still occasionally be like, "Don't worry, Mama, the man isn't there." And I'll just be like, "Okay, I didn't ask, but thanks for the reassurance."
There's not a man in a hat standing behind me right now, is
No,
there?
not that I see.
Because the goosebumps all over my body are telling me otherwise.
My little told me that mean man said he can't have his stuff and pointed in the back room. It went on for a couple of weeks until I finally told him, "You need to tell the man if he can't be nice, he has to leave." And it never came up again.
Oh. I mean, I don't know. Of course, I took a hard stance and was like, I'm skeptical of supernatural stuff. But I'm also like, even still sometimes if, there's enough marijuana pot in my body, will be the person in the basement alone, like at night, just like, it's okay, other people that used to live in the house. I'm just down here grabbing something, and then I'm
Yeah.
just gonna go right back upstairs. So, okay. I mean,
Yeah. And I mean,
I'm
along those
I'm definitely
lines,
a fan of like, even if you think maybe, just be nice to it.
right.
And it can't hurt. Like if
Well,
it's gonna kill you, it's gonna kill you anyways. You might as well just see if maybe like, hey bud, you doing good? Like, hey, I know maybe like our kids did this to the house. Like, sorry, we're gonna fix it when they're older.
yeah.
Because definitely heard stories of like hauntings where it's just like,
Don't fuck up my house.
yeah, or
Yeah.
like an older member of the family had lived there before, and then it seemed like they were mad that there were kids in the house now
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So that's why I try to pretend to be such a skeptic. I think maybe is because like at the end of the day, like, I don't know. I'm an idiot. So, like, I don't know anything. And if I think it's one thing, it's probably the other thing. So I'm just going to cover all the bases.
Well, and like even the sciencey part of my brain recognizes like, okay, energy cannot be
I was
destroyed.
going to say that. Yeah. And they've
So it's
proven,
got to go somewhere
yeah,
around us.
that there is essentially some sort of after,
Transference.
like,
Yeah.
after death. I don't know if you're gonna call it an afterlife or whatever, but yeah, like I'm pretty sure they've done some scientific research on it and have like proven that your energy does not cease to be. It is impossible. Once energy is
Right.
created in the universe, it cannot be destroyed.
Yeah.
It can only be altered
Transferred. Yeah.
and transferred.
Transferred
Yes.
and altered. So that's my stance is there's definitely some energies out there and how they take shape for others is not up to me.
And I think that's where my skepticism comes in, is when it's such a hard, clear, like, line that people are drawing. Like, no, I saw this. And it's like, did you? Or is that just the first thing your brain could interpret with this thing it didn't understand that
Right.
occurred, and now that's what is, because that's your brain basically got information and it was like, but the guy in a coat. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. This one wasn't something the child said, but what the child did and it made me laugh. My 5-year-old has a tendency to just stand next to my side of the bed and stare at me until I wake up.
No,
Scares
no.
the shit out of me every single time.
How do you how,
How do you not punch him in the face?
I was just gonna say, how do you both have a good day after
Right.
that? Because how is your first thing just not like, oh fuck, oh god, oh sorry, oh my god, oh you just fucked mommy up.
Right? Mine told me this week that the skeleton is going to get me if the door stays open. We do not have any skeleton decorations for Halloween.
Okay, I was like, just note, author's note, we don't have any
Yeah.
skeletons in the house. Okay, Reddit.
Needless to say, all doors have been firmly closed.
Yeah, screw those doors shut.
Yeah.
I don't know, but also, I think a skeleton is probably the least scary thing, because it's like literally your skeleton does nothing. It only has things done to it.
Right.
So like, if I only saw a skeleton first, I think I would just be intrigued. I'd be like, how are you even together and standing up
Right.
without like muscle?
Any connective tissue.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay.
And also like skeleton, like we push them over and their bones everywhere. You know what I mean?
Right.
Also, I will go on record. Fuck a skeleton.
All right, here's a good one for you. I have a cousin who, when he was little, had a stuffed animal from his childhood, and when they brought it into his new home, he started seeing his mom, who passed away when he was 1.5 years old, and would tell his foster mom different things his biological mom would say, down to facts that his real family
Mm,
about his real family that no one had ever said
mm.
aloud to him.
Yo, why do cousins always be having fucked up shit happen to them? Like I feel like every fucked up story you hear, it's like, oh, my cousin, and it's like, god damn, like
Yeah.
I'm about to go like take out my cousin, so I'm not anybody's
So you
cousin,
don't
so
get
I cannot have any weird shit happen to me.
Oh, okay, this is another good one. My daughter used to always talk about the guy, and he was
Mm.
so scary. She would wake up screaming every single night because the guy would shake her awake.
Oh,
We
she's having night
later
terrors.
had our home blessed, and it was quiet for a bit until one day she was playing in her room, laughing and talking.
Mm.
My husband went to her doorway and asked who
Uh,
she was talking to, and she said, Hunter. Daddy, he's right there.
I'm gonna have tears come to my eyes because the goosebumps on my body are like so intense right now.
Yeah. My husband began asking questions about Hunter, in which my daughter would turn and ask him, which totally freaked my husband out. She finally said, Daddy, Hunter doesn't want to answer any more questions. We moved shortly after that, and
Yeah.
every time we drove by our old house, she would wave and say, Hi, Hunter. See, Mom? He's still there.
Mm. Mm.
She was 2 when we moved there and 3 when we left. Longest 15 months of my life.
I need updates on that.
Right.
I need them to drive by right now
See what she
and
does.
see what she
And I want to know
says.
how old she is right now.
Yeah. I want a video of the house while they drive by. But see,
Yeah.
my thing is if this is something that does occur in our like life with our kids, I'm going to be detective mode to figure out like what it is because that's already come up with a couple things. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because like he started looking under pillows or something for monsters, and we
Figured out it was
couldn't
that
figure out
book.
why. Yeah,
Yeah.
and like even asking my parents, they had no idea. But then
We found the book at their
found the book
house.
over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's like where I'm coming from. It's like okay, I'm not gonna deny that there's energies out there or lingering or whatever. But even if that is influencing what is going on, something is making this like have a more tangible image in this child's mind, and you
Yeah.
can get to the bottom of that.
Yeah.
And
Find some of the logic in the situation.
yeah, or all of it, and just we as humans create these things in our brain because for safety. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like it keeps us alive and safe to see a face in the bushes in the woods at night. You know what I mean? Because we're less likely to wander off into the woods at night
Right.
and get eaten and killed. So it's like I that's like where I'm at. Like again, I don't deny that I know factually energy goes on and it can probably not do the same thing after every person passes, like as far as dissipate in the same way. Maybe it
Right.
can stay. And I just want everybody to know that we record this podcast in our basement, and it's not creepy.
Oh, it's a very heavy basement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um and I just lost my train of thought because like where I sit, I have to like look across the basement to the dark hallway that leads to the unfinished part. It just makes me uncomfortable right now.
And we tried to get the dogs to come down with us tonight, and they did not.
Yeah. But to be fair, they don't always, so.
That's true.
And also, just again, we're going to cover some bases. If there's anybody listening to us live right now, thank you for being here. We welcome you. And please do not give us a round of applause at any time.
No, but enjoy our stories. All right. My 2-year-old.
I hope one of the ghosts in our basement's like, oh, I know this guy.
Or like high-fiving another one like, that was me.
Yeah. I did that shit.
Awesome. So next one. My 2-year-old would go into the bathroom alone and close the door and say, why are you up there?
Mm-mm.
Oh, but you're so high. Can you hear me? And my husband and I would just look at each other every single time, and we're too creeped out to use the guest bathroom anymore.
No, there is no guest bathroom in the house now. That bathroom's gone.
It's gone.
That wall is sealed up. It's
Yeah,
closed off.
yeah.
No.
All right. Last mom group one before we move over to Reddit. When my son...
I hate that these things happen to people that you like may actually know, or at least know somewhat through this group.
Yeah.
I like it better when it's just like somebody
No,
made
it's
that
someone on the
tweet up.
internet. Yeah. No, these are all local moms. Yeah. When my son was 2, he would always point to the same corner in his room and say, scary bunny, and cry and be very upset. I was picturing the Donnie Darko bunny.
I was too. I was about to be like Donnie Darko.
Yeah, that's what the mom said. One day when he was at daycare, we actually had a priest come to our house and basically perform an exorcism. My son never mentioned the scary bunny again, and we never told him what the priest did because he was 2. Yeah.
But no, see, no. First of all, you know how I feel about religion.
Right.
Okay, no. No, I think if the kid was aware that a priest came over, first of all, if they had a priest come over, that tells me that they're probably religious to a certain extent. So
right.
If the kid knew a priest came over, that alone would hold weight. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm sure there were conversations about, like, you know, leading up to it. Maybe never saying exactly what was happening, but I don't know. Again, like you said, kids are constantly taking everything in.
Yeah.
How do they know the kid didn't hear them, even, like, making the call to set it up?
All right.
So with that, let's take a quick break. I am not sure who's going to be more creeped out. I have to run upstairs. I'm going to be leaving Hannah down here alone while I go upstairs alone.
Okay, I'm going to stare at my phone.
So after these messages, we'll be right back.
Holy shit, we're parents. This episode is brought to you by Booby Superfoods, the real MVPs of postpartum snacks. Whether you're breastfeeding, chasing toddlers, or just need something that doesn't make you feel like garbage, Booby's got you. Get 10% off your order at boobysuperfoods.com/reviveandthrive. That's BOOBIE superfoods.com/reviveandthrive. Because your boobs and your sanity deserve nice things. Okay, moms. If you're still living in those crusty maternity leggings from 3 babies ago, it's time. Comfort sweats are basically the uniform for surviving parenthood. Soft, high quality, and somehow still cute even when covered in spit up. Go to comfort.com/Hannah66030 for 10% off your order. That's cmfrt.com/HANNAH66030. Because if you can't have peace and quiet, at least you can have comfy pants. Holy shit, we're parents.
Alrighty, and we're back, and that was the longest pee of my life, it felt like, and I absolutely opened the shower curtain. Because ain't no way I was peeing with my back to a closed shower curtain after this.
I always open the shower curtain. I hate having it closed.
Alright, well, maybe we should get back to the episode.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
So, moving over to Reddit, r/parenting. Subject is, Does your toddler/kid say creepy things?
Wait,
My
somebody sought this out? Somebody asked this question and wanted people to tell them the creepy things?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So this one was because they say my 3-year-old loves to freak me out. And so many times she will go, "Look behind you. There's one right behind you." I wish I could say it was the first time she said something like this. So the responses are way fucking scarier than that. First one is, "Mom, there's a man that comes to see me at night.
Mm.
He stands right at the corner of my bed and pets my hair to sleep."
No.
That was my 4-year-old son.
He has night terrors.
Someone said, "Oh my God, the way I would move out."
I've had night terrors.
Yeah.
And he's actually super fortunate that his brain has been able to like manipulate that situation into feeling like a positive.
Not scary, yeah.
Because it's scary as fuck
Yeah.
to lay there and see somebody in the room that you know,
Yeah.
first of all, isn't there
Doesn't
and isn't
belong
supposed
there,
to be
yeah.
there. And you can't do anything because you're literally frozen. Oh, that was like the scariest. I'm glad I only had to suffer through that a couple times. That
Yeah.
was freaky.
My oldest kept talking alone in his room. And when we asked him about it, he told us he was talking to a lady in a white dress who floats in the air.
Nah. Again, see again, it's too specific. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's too obviously something you've seen.
Yeah. Like it sounds like early dreaming while he was half asleep.
Or just like his imagination.
Right.
Like I do think a lot of these are imaginary friend situations.
Yeah.
Which I do believe kids have, and I do believe kids believe are real.
Yeah.
Did you ever have one?
No.
Me neither. I had dogs. Well, I had a dog.
Yeah.
I had Sonny. Like I would just talk to him and
Yeah.
then do his voice to me. So
Yeah.
like he was my real imaginary friend.
I had friends that lived really close, like on my street.
Did they though? Did they? Hannah, you lived on a street with no other houses. What?
No, but if you want a scary
Nope.
little kid story from my house.
I live with you. So like what if it's you?
It's not me.
What if it's you?
It's a scary story that had to do with Sarah, my sister.
It's not the house, it's you.
It's not me. My mom had scary stories from when she was little there too.
Oh, that makes me feel better.
So I grew up in a farmhouse that my family built a couple hundred years before I lived there. Like we were the second family in the town, helped settle it with the family that the town was named after. The road I grew up on was named after my family, all that good stuff. But I was,
You know, everybody can relate to that story.
I was putting my little sister to bed. It was one of the first times I was in charge of my sister. We didn't have a babysitter.
Okay. Real quick. Sorry. Your sister has autism.
Yeah.
And I do believe people on the spectrum, if anybody is more sensitive to lingering energies, that's where it's at.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I do not like these stories, because your sister has no reason to make it up.
Right.
Like she's not the type of person to like get enjoyment out of making other people uncomfortable. It makes her uncomfortable. So like you know, I think there are some little kids who are smarter than their parents think, and they derive pleasure out of like picking on their parents and teasing them. Like that first story here on Reddit that kicked it off about the girl. Like,
she was
right
for sure
you.
fucking with her mom.
That creeped her mom out once or twice, and her daughter thought that was hilarious.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Again, I don't know how much you want to share, but like your sister wasn't even verbal till
she was 7.
Okay, so
yeah. And so at this point, I was probably 13 or 14. So she was 10 or 11.
Okay.
And I actually have 2 stories from this age. So one was I was babysitting, so it was just me and her in the house. Huge, scary old brick farmhouse.
Mm.
And she was also not an affectionate child. She did not like to be hugged or touched really. Um and so
Like you said, like she was kind of always like tensed up.
yeah,
So like that is probably why, because
right.
anybody touching her is
She
probably
was just
like,
like,
"Ugh!"
"Huh."
Yeah.
Yeah. Almost an exact reaction. So I tucked her into bed, and I don't remember why, but I had put her to sleep in my mom's bed instead of her own. And the
Because
door
they
was
told you to.
the bedroom door was open behind me, and the bed was like right next to the bedroom door in that room. And so I tucked her in, and I leaned down to kiss her on the forehead, and she threw her arms around my neck and like pulled me in a tight squeeze and buried her head in my shoulder and said, "Who is that?" And I was like, What? Who is who?" And she said, "That man." And looked at the doorway behind me, and I was just like, "There's nobody there." And she said, "That man," again. And then looked, and apparently he was gone. So she just rolled over and went to sleep. And I had to go back out into the hallway by myself. Like, what the fuck is
Nah,
happening?
we sleep in a mom's bed tonight.
And then the only other time a scary thing happened with her was also in my mom's room. There was a window overlooking the roof over the porch on the addition to the house. And she was just like sitting at the windowsill staring. And I don't remember if my mom was home then or not, but it was during the middle of the day.
Oh, is this the kid on the roof part?
Yeah. And she was like, "Who are those kids?" And I was like, "What kids?" And she was like, "The ones playing on the roof." And never got further explanation on that one either.
I don't like that because, like,
Yeah.
what a good way for kids to die.
Right. Falling off the roof or some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or like, what a good place for kids that are trapped forever in a farmhouse to play.
Well, there's probably better places to play. But that's interesting. If you're trapped in a structure, can you go on it? Oh, so I
Yeah.
don't know.
Weird, crazy shit.
But I guess that edition wasn't that old, so if something like that had happened, it would have been in the recent family history, and you definitely would have known about it.
I would hope.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if she just saw like kids playing off in the distance, and maybe they just looked like they were on the roof.
All that was off in the
Perspective.
distance was my great uncle's house. Like, there was nowhere to see kids out that window.
Well, maybe they were adults and they were just little because they were far away and they looked like kids. Like maybe there were people outside around your uncle's house.
That I could get down with because he had a picnic table right outside next to his house.
Potentially what it was then. See, that's like my thing. I'm not saying like, okay, the first one, no, I've
I've got
absolutely no
nothing there.
explanation for. That wasn't the old part of the house.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, my hope is that it was just maybe a weird shadow, like that you were casting in the way that you
Hopefully.
were, and then when you
Yeah.
turned to look or something, it was gone, something like that. But, ugh.
Yeah. Shit was wild. All right, back to Reddit. My daughter, when she was 2 years old, was sitting on the end of my bed. She started getting agitated and turned to me saying, "Mommy, make them stop." I replied, "Make who stop?" And she screamed, "The birds." I asked what the birds were doing, to which she replies in her creepy little kid voice, "They won't stop eating my mermaid tail. She's dead. Can't they just leave her alone now?"
Oh, what? I don't like that one.
Nope. Then on another occasion, we were at a friend's house and my daughter was down the hall playing with my friend's daughter. Matt, another of my friends, was sitting in an armchair near the entrance to the hallway. My kid walks very slowly down the hall to Matt, stands in front of him, and in the creepiest monotone voice says, "Eyes on you, Matt. Eyes on you." then walked slowly back down the hall. Matt said, "Well, that scared my soul a little." And my child then proceeds to walk back down the hall and in the exact same creepy voice says, "I will eat your soul." She then walks back to the room she was playing in.
See, this sounds like a kid that just is smart
Realized
enough.
they were
Yeah.
creepy. Yeah. So Matt's convinced my child is the Antichrist, and I'm not convinced that he's wrong.
Oh, that's a tough. Oh,
Yeah.
because you got to take that thing home.
Right. Ugh. Yeah. That's a hard one to shake off. Here's another one. When my son was around 3, he started mentioning things about an imaginary friend. His friend happened to be named 16, had red eyes, floated
Mhm.
in the ceiling, and his parents lived in the sky. It lasted for about a year with lots of creepy out of nowhere references about how 16 was lonely or watching us, etc. After a while, it did kind of just go away, but there were moments when he would simply not stop talking about 16.
That's crazy. Whoa, don't like this. Why do we
uh,
do this?
I don't know. This is the last one. My wife was changing our son in his room before bed. He's a few months past 2 years old. She comes out and tells me he was laying on the floor, looking up at the ceiling, grinning and saying, "You can't see him," over and over. So I went in and lay on the floor with him in his room, and he's still laying there saying, "You can't see him," while looking at the ceiling. Then he turned and looked at his mom and said, "He's on your head." Throughout, we were asking, "Who do you see?" But he would not give us an answer. So we all went into our bedroom for stories and teeth brushing, as same as every night. So we get done and he's looking at the closed bedroom door and he says, "Someone's coming in." So I open the door and obviously there was no one there. He then runs down the hall to the front door and says, "Someone's knocking on the door. Someone's knocking on the door." After a few times of saying this, I pick him up and open the door. He now is insisting on going out to the car. I tell him it's cold and dark and nighttime.
Uh,
He insists we go outside, so we step onto the porch. He immediately calms down. We go back inside, finish our bedtime routine, and he got into bed and went right to sleep.
Well, yeah, I mean, the cold night air soothes
Right.
kids,
Kind of shocked his nervous system back into like a little reset.
and he sounded like he was doing things that he was repeating things he's heard.
Yeah.
Like,
Just in a
oh,
super creepy way.
yeah,
So, how are we feeling about those stories?
not good. The 16 one made me feel oddly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That was weird. Um, like, in a way, like some of those stories, like really, I feel like give you goosebumps,
Yeah.
and then other ones, I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
mermaid tail, you freaking weirdo. But I'm hoping we don't have to do 20 more minutes of these.
We don't. We don't. I was gonna kind of get into like the right way to respond when these kinds of things happen.
Okay, cool. Okay, well,
So,
first of all, my first thought is try to figure out what is causing it
yeah.
and bring that to their attention, bring it to the foreground, and like, oh, you mean this? That's silly.
Yeah.
That's just pretend.
Which is good because they don't have that logic capability in their brain yet, so you kind of have to be that for them.
Yeah.
You also don't want to like gaslight your kid like you're not seeing that or shame their imagination because you don't want to like dampen any part of their spirit.
Yeah.
Um
And again, like, you don't fucking know.
right. I basically you want to focus on grounding them. So like you said, bringing logic to the forefront of, "Oh, that could be this," or "That sounds scary. Do you want to tell me more about it?" And try to get them talking and see if they can kind of figure it out themselves. Reminding them they're safe if they seem like upset or uneasy. Because, some of these kids sounded super upset about the creepy shit going on. Some of them were kind of just like, "Yeah, this happens." So you got to kind of follow their lead in your response.
Yeah.
Um, And then it's a kind of a good tool for parents too, because it's giving you a window into how they're processing what they're taking in, or their emotions, or how they're like seeing the world around them, which can be really interesting and can be helpful for future situations.
Yeah. So the right response isn't just like, mm, no, I'm definitely not looking in that closet again.
I'm just gonna fucking drop kick you the fuck out of
Yeah,
here.
like we're just gonna not like you hear something in that closet, okay? Let's just ignore it for a little bit.
Right? Or like we've joked about when we saw that reel that you're gonna be the one who's like, cool, we're gonna go get mommy about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, you come with me because I don't want to walk down the hall by myself. We're gonna go get mommy, and then we're all gonna come back here together because I don't want to be in the living room by myself. Yeah, that's one of those like, well, looks like we're all going to bed now.
Yeah, right. And if it becomes a persistent thing or super distressing, like we were talking about with night terrors, or if these things start happening after some potential like trauma, that's when you might want to start seeking some like outside help. I
And
don't.
that was another like thought I was having about like the investigation aspect is like trying to get into your kid's head a little bit more and see from their point of view because something might have been traumatic to
Right.
them in a way that you're just totally like glib to, and
Right.
like once you are like, oh, okay, like now that makes sense and now we can move forward.
Yeah, exactly. Because like the thing to remember and understand with trauma is it's different for every brain. Um and it's like any sort of upset from the norm, and people are prone to say, "Oh, it wasn't that bad," or whatever their reasoning behind it, but like trauma doesn't recognize like, "Oh, this happened and was scary, but it wasn't as bad as like this other thing that could have happened." Like, no, trauma is trauma is trauma. Like
Yeah.
there is no level to it. It's how it affects your individual brain.
Well, yeah, and if it was happening in the logical part of your brain, you could just tell it not to happen and
Right.
then it wouldn't. So, yeah.
Exactly.
And honestly, now that you mention that, a lot of what we heard sounded like kids just going through their own different like processing periods of potentially a trauma that happened because none of the stories lasted more than a year.
Right.
And honestly, that seems like a normal amount of time to process varying levels of trauma, like potentially loss of a pet, loss of
We
like
heard a loss of a
a
parent.
loved one, yeah, a
Yeah.
parent, maybe even just something as casual seeming as like the loss of a friend at daycare because they stopped going or started
Right.
going on different days or something like that could be very traumatic because like, what like object permanence isn't great with kids.
Right.
So for all they know, like especially if they have experienced loss of like an older family member and are like, "Oh, well, I don't see that person anymore and this is what they said happened to them. I don't see that person anymore, so that must be what happened to them." That's traumatic.
Exactly. Or even like bringing back our son. We have Bay, we have Binks, and we have the purple cat. We had a third cat. He died this summer. Prince 2. He doesn't fully get that. So maybe that is something coming into play. Even my mom was like, maybe it's Fritz's ghost. And I was like, well, he knows Fritz. He would call him by name. And she was like, well, he doesn't know him as a purple ghost cat.
I mean, that's true.
Right.
That's true.
So, yeah, feel free to comment on this episode with any crazy, creepy shit your toddler has said, because I am all about reading it. I don't know
And
why I torture myself.
and also maybe comment how you guys as a family have dealt with that, how long it lasted for, and I want anybody who is going to give us their story to think really, really hard about the surrounding circumstances leading up to when this started to occur. And if you think there is potentially even maybe, a reason for it. And
Yeah.
if you've thought of that before, or if you just now decided to take that route of thought.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that's all I've got for today's episode.
Okay, kind of a quick one.
Yeah.
Okay.
But a nice creepy one to finish off Halloween weekend, even though it isn't coming out on Halloween weekend. I feel like these creepy stories are always relevant.
Yeah, no, it'll be coming out in the always creepy first week of November.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
Fall is just a nice spooky time.
Oh, I was being sarcastic.
Oh, I was not.
Oh, like the first week of November is like literally the start of like the happiest time of year because it's leading into Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving is just a bunch of food, and then after Thanksgiving it's Christmas, and Christmas is Christmas, and now after Christmas we have a birthday in our lives.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was just like the happiest time of the year for me. Like, I love Christmassy stuff. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, we're about to be Hallmark movie season,
that's true.
which, if anybody would like us to cover Hallmark movies and just discuss a few, let us know. I do want to do the absolutely horrible Kentucky Fried Chicken one with Mario Lopez.
Oh my god, I forgot about that one.
I've been trying actively to forget, and I cannot, unfortunately.
I can't remember anything about it. That's hilarious.
I think it's with Melissa Joan Hart, or I know she's in a bunch of them now.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we're definitely going to be doing a Patreon series of Lifetime and Hallmark Christmas movies that I hate to love to hate. I don't know. Like I do like them ironically. Like we watch them and I make fun of them, but I watch all of them.
There's something really comforting about them.
Yeah, oh my god, I love the like town. Like I love that sense of everybody here, like we all know each other and we all get along and we all have like our specific roles that we play in the town. Like I don't know, that is just very comforting to me, I think, cuz I grew up in like, big city in Atlanta. So I think that quaintness, like that's one of the reasons I like loved Gilmore Girls when I was younger was because of that, was because of the town.
All right, well, I'll tell you right now, small towns are a bunch of bullshit. Everybody's in everybody's business.
Well, yeah.
Nobody is that nice to each other.
Well, yeah, but that's why it's so appealing, I think.
Because it's fake.
Well, because your brain knows that it's unattainable.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool. Well, we got way off topic at the end here, but who cares?
Hmm.
Thanks for hanging out with us while we scared the shit out of ourselves finishing out Halloween. And if you like this, hit follow, leave a review. Again, leave us your creepy comments and share this with somebody else who also loves Halloween and scaring the shit out of each other.
Leave us a 5-star review, or you don't have to leave us a review. I'm just saying, if you're gonna make the effort, just leave us a 5-star review. You can write in something not 5-star if you want us to adjust it, but just hit the 5 stars. It's just as easy. It's right there. It's next to the one you were gonna push. If you really, really like us, be sure to hop over and catch us on Patreon, where for just $4 a month, you'll get early access to episodes depending on if we record them on schedule and how long it takes me to edit them. Limited Discord access, where you can start chatting with like-minded parents, and access to monthly mini episodes where we talk about who knows what. We've been doing a little bit of Married at First Sight on Peacock. We're going to be getting into hopefully some Christmas movies coming up. If you have any movies that you love, be sure to comment them below. For $10 a month, you get the $4 goodies plus full Discord access. You can live chat with us while we record. You can also get access to video recordings or live access to video. For $50 a month, you will get all things below, plus a hi mom, thanks mom shout out at the end of every episode. You will get to vote or pick series or episode topics. and get full access to Hannah's childbirth and parenting ebooks and workshops. Great thing to consider, even if you just want to sign up for a month, get access to those, and then tell us to fuck off. Thanks for listening.
Bye, guys. Well, holy shit, we're parents.